and welcome back to Let's Play Look Outside. Last time we ended on kind of a harrowing note, but rest assured, I have wound back the clock and the rat baby thing is still just scurrying around in our inventory, unharmed. You don't need to worry, it hasn't been omnommed. Now, before we head out, couple things that I'd like to go over. First off, we're not going to immediately be going back to the Wallmouth to see if we can come up with something else to try and feed it, because I would rather take care of Frederic's quest to start things out. I would also like to go in with at least a little bit more help, and I think we need to kill some time in the apartment to accomplish that. This is a book of crossword puzzles. If you need to kill some time, this might be one way to do it. However, it's soul-crushingly boring. Only to play crosswords as a desperate last resort. Playing video games, watching TV, or even exploring the building are less soul-crushing options. But for crossword puzzles, we will play for 1 hour. Now, you can waste time playing crosswords in increments of 1, 2, 3, or 4 hours. Should there be a knock on the door during the 2, 3, or 4 hour sessions, you will be interrupted midway through and potentially have your crossword session cut short. There is a finite number of crossword puzzles, and there is a secret code that you get if you manage to finish them all. That is currently unimplemented. The code does nothing. It is a random code that is generated every new playthrough, but there is nothing to actually use it on. Note that there is actually a way to clear crosswords faster. Without this way, though, it takes about 76 in-game hours to complete all the crosswords. We just want to play for 1 hour, though. You start the beginner level crosswords. The clues are very simple, and all the vocabulary words are quite basic. You hear a knock at the door. A knock at the door interrupts your crossword session. You spend 1 hour completing puzzles before being interrupted. You complete 4 puzzles in that time. Now, this is actually something I played off-screen a little bit to see if I could get a door knock relatively quickly. The amount of puzzles you complete is actually somewhat random. Last time, I completed 5 crossword puzzles within that 1 hour. Anyways, a little girl is outside. She keeps glancing around as if looking for someone or something. What will you do? Hello? I'm looking for my mom. You seen her? Will you open the door? Well, you can't just turn away a little girl. I'm Sophie. I'm almost 8. My mom went out yesterday and isn't back yet. I need a place to hide. Where'd she go? She went to go get food. We didn't have much when all this craziness started, so we were in big trouble. I don't think a monster ate her, though. She's real tough. She beat up my dad one time. He deserved it. She said to ask a neighbor for help if she takes too long. Boy, didn't go well. What happened? It was a weird woman with a bunch of faces. Most of the faces wanted to help me, but one of them told me to run, that I couldn't trust them. They were no good. They wanted to eat me. My mom would have called them a piece of shit, I think. Well, that other face was okay. She warned me. Maybe we can knock out the bad ones and make friends with the good ones. Anyway. So, can you help me out? You're ugly, but you're not monster ugly. Hey, you're just like a regular guy, I think. You're just tired. I get it. Okay, we'll let you hide here. We can't just turn her away. Yes, thank you. Now, I was hoping to get another party member, and frankly, this is about the worst one I could have gotten, but we will manage. I really do want to have at least one extra pair of hands, and if nothing else, Sophie can toss out Acid Flask. You haven't seen my mom anywhere, have you? Note that Sophie's mother is indeed an NPC within the game, and she can potentially show up before Sophie does. Neither of them can show up at all. One could show up and the other could never show up. There's a lot of variation in how this could play out, but contrary to popular belief, you do not need to run into Sophie's mother for Sophie herself to show up, and vice versa. So, let's talk to Sophie and see what she has to say. How are you doing? Pretty hungry. Think you can make a snack? For sure. Any idea where your mom is? Well, she said she was looking for some supplies. She's definitely still in the building, no matter where she went. And I know she's looking for me. And, what do you think will happen? I don't want to sound optimistic here, but I don't think we're gonna have school next week. My thoughts exactly. Did you look outside? Are you crazy? No way! One thing my mom made me promise is that I wouldn't look outside. Okay, fair enough. Let's have Sophie come along. Sophie is the second of the child soldier characters, and she is pretty ignominiously the worst one. Yeah, let's go look for Mom. In fact, in the current version of the game, she's probably the weakest character. She's one of the only characters who hasn't received any buffs in updates, though she does have some unique attributes to her. We're going to give her this hoodie to give her a little bit of defense. She comes with a slingshot. This weapon can only be obtained via recruiting Sophie. Originally it was a two-handed weapon, but now Sophie has a couple of options for equipping different weapons, though obviously she is not very good, and the selection she gets isn't super inspiring, but we may as well. Sophie's unique gimmick is that in battle, she can hide, and hiding will increase her evasion. If she happens to get hit anyway, she will potentially get knocked out of the hide status. When in the hide status, she can play tricks on the enemies to taunt them, to inflict various ailments, which is the main reason you want to have her play tricks on enemies. And there are a couple of unique attacks that also require to be in the hide status. When she uses a trick, she will instead go into afterwards she will go into the exposed status, which removes the evasion buff, but still allows her to use the trick skills. Unfortunately, her HP is quite low and all her stats are pretty terrible, so she's not that great, but she is an extra pair of hands, and like I said, if nothing else, we can have her just toss items at the enemies. So, let's make up some meals here before we continue on. Eat some fish stew. Share the food with 3 people, everybody gets 22 HP, 12 stamina, and 9 social. Lay fidgets as she eats her food. She can't keep her eyes off of you, though she looks away whenever you make contact. Finally, she cracks. I want a rematch! I want to go again! You got me the first time, but I can take you this time. Let's go. Oh, come on, Lay. Not in my apartment. Don't you know? That's how one of us dies. I saw it in a dream. Then, let's arm wrestle. What do you say? Okay, fine. Yes, place your right arm here. No holding the table. Let's settle this. Leia is almost delirious with excitement. She places her elbow down on the table and waits your hand. Are you sure you want to do this? Let's go for it. You place your elbow on the table and clasp Leia's hand. Her grip is tight. Far too tight, and her wild eyes look directly into yours. 3, 2... Leia pressures your arm before finishing her countdown. You grit your teeth as you resist her, fighting back with all your strength. 1! No, we're gonna do this fair and square, Sam. No gripping the table. Leia makes an almost deranged face as she struggles against your arm. Keeping her elbow on the table, she stands up, gaining a considerable leverage advantage against you. No, we can't. We just have to struggle harder. We have to do this honestly. The two of you struggle for what seems like forever, but is only a matter of seconds. Submit! Submit! But in the end, Leia slams your hand into the table. She roars in victory as your knuckles wrap the table. I did it. I'm stronger than you now. So much stronger. Are you afraid, Sam, of how much stronger I am? My time is coming. My time is coming. Leia triumphantly storms off. Can't help but feel more than a little nervous from her remarks. The agony of defeat is bitter, but she took it Leia less seriously than she did. Note that it is, if you are high enough level, I believe, possible to win that arm wrestling match. Needless to say, Leia is a bit of a sore loser. Now, before we step out of the apartment, I'm going to equip some very particular weapons on Leia and Sam. We are going to equip some mops. We're going to want these for the coming encounters we're about to get into. These are two-handed weapons that are, what was the mop's weapon type? A crush type, but there's a very particular skill on them that's going to be super useful coming up soon. Just checking to see if I got any other equipment here. Unfortunately, no. With that taken care of, we're going to go take care of Frederic's quest to start this video, and this is probably going to be a longer one, so strap in. Alright, here we are back at Frederic's apartment. Starting things out, he told us not to look into the fridge, so of course we're going to look into the fridge. There's something in the fridge. I heard everything. He is lying. A liar. Don't believe a word. He just wants to be last. Don't trust him. Trust me instead. Trust me. What you want? Are you the original? Yes, look, I'm the real one. Look at me. Have you seen my ring? That's the real Fred ring. It has red gem on it. Red! His ring is wrong. Wrong color. And look at me. The real one. That's a whole Fred. What do you think? You believe Fred, right? I don't think so. You're not buying it. I'm not the real Fred. Got too many bits. Fraudulent Fred. Sorry for lying. But, what if you killed the other Freds anyway? For me? I'm not the real Fred, but if the other Freds are gone, I can be the real Fred. The final Fred. Fake it till you make it. It's what Fred always said. I'm a better Fred. New and improved. Will you do it? Kill the other Freds for me? Please? I won't do it. Fine. Then you won't be getting the prize. Too bad for you. The prize was very good. What do you want? Well, can you tell me what happened at least? Note that he says a prize. There are a variety of Frederics roaming around these apartments, and if you go through with killing all but one of the Frederics, each distinct Frederic does have a different reward for you. I'm just going to spoil it for this guy. He gives you the refrigerator, which is a non-functional gain. It does nothing. So, effectively, the reward for making this Fred the real Fred is nothing. What happened? There was this painting. I made that as bad to look at. I started painting my face, but it's hard. I don't remember right. And then the face comes out of the painting and starts painting too. Now there's a bunch of Freds. And then big headache comes on. The voices. It's very bad. I run into the fridge to get them to stop. Then you come in and help me and become my best friend. That's the whole thing. What you want? We're going to take care of you. Really attack? You attack me? Alright, so what do we want to do with this guy is we want to use the Cleansing Swipe. This is a move that is super effective against paint-based enemies, like the ones we happen to be fighting here. We're going to have Sophie fire with her slingshot, since it's the only real source of damage she has, though note she only has 10 marbles. On the brighter side of things, the marbles have a tendency to bug out and not actually be consumed when she shoots, if she gets the chance to shoot. Sophie is level 2 and learns her first trick that I actually care to use. She can confuse enemies, making them attack at random and also preventing them from using their more dangerous skills. Fred gave us the painter's key so we can get through the doors that are scattered about here. So, let's take a look at these frames here. Originally, these frames did not have dialogue, but I believe it was the 1.02 update that added descriptive text for them. A framed painting. Most of the paint is missing, as if it had leapt out of the canvas. It is titled Blinding Light. Over here, we've got Treachery. We've got Divine here. This one is Darkness. This one is Agony. This one is Rage. Over here we have Faceless. And, well, we got attacked by this little green guy here. These guys are quite dangerous, actually. They deal some pretty substantial damage to you if you're unlucky, and they have a pretty high chance of poisoning you with their attacks. Actually, I'm gonna have Sophie hide. Sophie's hide ability has very high priority, often going first. There, her evasion comes through. Yeah, very nice. Can be pretty helpful every now and again. Remember that she can still occasionally get hit, and if she gets hit, it can cause her to lose the hide status. Now she can blind enemies, increasing her evasion even further. So, these paintings, obviously, fear, are the sources of the various Frederics, and take note of the titles, as they can give you hints as to which Frederics are probably the fake Frederic. Incidentally, whenever you kill a Frederic and it wasn't the real one, a painting is filled in, a framed painting of some odd purple creature that bears Frederic's face. It is titled Confusion. Fitting enough, I suppose. Over here we've got a dirty painting easel. You wipe some still fresh blue paint off your fingers. It was definitely used recently. Keep that in mind, the blue paint there. Heading into this room. Jesus Christ, what is that? Let's raid all its medication over here. Doesn't look like it's able to use it to much effect. And I suppose we can talk to it. A grotesque mass of ever-shifting flesh. Limbs and faces emerge and sink back into its mass at random. What will you say? Hello? Oh boy. I have a question about what happened. Are you the real Frederic by chance? No. Is Frederic nearby? Yes. Is Frederic still alive? Yes. Is he still human? No. No. But that Frederic in the, well, by the living room, I think they should say, he looked pretty human. Interesting. We're gonna come back to this guy in a little bit, and we're just going to, hey, who's this guy over here? A dark shape with a pale face observes you. Despite its size, it makes no sound at all as it moves closer. The pale face's features do not move. Seems to be a mask. Hello? We're actually getting an encounter with this guy pretty late into the game, but better late than never. The creature's mask-like face moves around unnervingly. Makes no other response. Seems like it cannot talk. The creature's mask-like face turns quizzically. Well, you seem okay. There is no answer. You think you notice subtle movements under the shape's robe. Are you a friend? Well, he seems to consider himself a friend. It nods. That's good. You think you notice subtle movements under the shape's robe. Do you happen to need any help? Seems to be thinking about it. Okay, so would like some help. Are you hurt at all? I got some first aid supplies. Well, he doesn't seem to be hurt. Are you hungry, maybe? Oh, okay, he's hungry. Seems to be hungry. Let's give him some food. Now, this is a multi-step quest that spans over several days and encounters with this thing, and the reward you get is dependent on the items you give it. Now, to get what I personally consider the best reward, I would just give it a chalky bar or something else like a hard candy here. But I want to show the full side quest, and giving it a less than perfect reward here will cause the side quest to cut short. The thing you would like to give it is something like a chicken sandwich, something very hearty and filling. It eats it. Seems like it enjoys the food a lot. Still facing you? It backs away. It's gone. Remember to be friendly to that thing whenever you come across it. Let's talk to Frederic real quick and see if he has any additional things for us. Hi again. Hope you have good news. I can tell that you got rid of one of them already. Thank you. I should give you something to help take care of these things, right? Let me see. Here you go. Some flasks of very strong turpentine. That should make short work of them. Might be strong enough to hurt other things, too. You receive 4 turpentine. Turpentine, and we can't really talk to Fred about anything else at this point, but turpentine is sort of like Acid Flask Light. Against these paint-based enemies, it'll deal around 80 damage and will almost certainly afflict them with the acid status. Now, I wanted to pick up the turpentine here because, well, I want to help this thing here, and it has a very specific thing it needs help with. Enough questions for now, and let's get to a other line of questioning. Do you need help? Yes. Do you need food? No. Do you need to drink? No. Are you cold, perhaps? Yes. Maybe you could use some warmth. Are you afraid? Yes. Do you want to die? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, I'll do what I can. Okay, so, we're going to kill this Fred here. This Fred, should you make him the real one, he produces a Tumor grenade, a weak damaging item that has the unique effect of dividing itself every single day that passes. It can eventually cap out at 99 in your inventory between the ones that just naturally replicate and the ones that divide in your inventory. Not super useful though. We need to throw turpentine at this guy. In order for him to be defeated, he needs to be afflicted with the acid status. So let's just hit him with the turpentine here, and then we can start going to town on him. The acid eating at Tumor Fred seems to prevent him from regenerating. Yes, if you try to fight Tumor Fred without hitting him with the acid, or turpentine rather, he will just recover all damage dealt to him. Hit him with a cleansing swipe there. Some teeth cannon, a marble real quick, and then another cleansing swipe. The acid eating at Tumor Fred seems to prevent him from regenerating. Tumor Fred is crying. Tumor Fred collapses to the ground, emitting a horrible screech. Misshapen limbs go limp, his eyes roll back into his faces, and his many mouths exhale one last painful breath. Sam's party was victorious. I feel kind of bad, honestly. Seems like even in death, his body continues to shift and change. Ugh. Well, moving on from that, it's getting late. You should probably go back home and sleep. It's now night. I'm sure we'll be fine. Let's just continue on. Over here, there are some first aid supplies, which we could actually use some of, because we are quite a bit behind, and we've got another interesting Frederic fellow over here. It's okay, I'm not your enemy. I know I look odd, but I just want to help. I can patch you up if you're hurt. I have a gift. It takes a lot out of me, but I can help. I don't want to fight. Now, tell me how I can help you. Can you heal me? Of course, just hold still. This takes a lot of focus. His viscid face freezes, and then melts into the rest of his mass. Then, dozens of oily strands of dried paint extrude from his body and begin expertly stitching your wounds. Your party recovers 28 HP. His work concluded, the strands of paint retract into his mass, and his blubbery paint face gradually rematerializes. There, it's done. I hope I've done a good job, considering the circumstances. I could do a much better job if I could quiet down all those thoughts, but there's nothing we can really do about that. Now, tell me how I can help you. So, this Frederic can heal us for a small amount of HP once per day. If you kill all the other Frederics and make him the remaining Frederic, that amount becomes much higher, and he also produces healing items that he'll give to you when he heals you. Not a bad reward, but I'm going to go for the proper clearing of this request. So, how are you doing? Not great. My head is still pounding, but it feels a little better. Have I just gotten used to the chatter? I don't know. It feels more manageable. Thank you for asking. Now, tell me how I can help you. Well, are you the real Frederic? I'm certain. I must be the real one. I must be. Now, tell me, how can I help you? You didn't convince me, so I'm afraid you have to die. I don't understand. What did I do wrong? Well, you are not the real Frederic. Something that will be proved once we leave this room. But for right now, let's just go to town with Teeth Cannon, with our cleansing swipe. He attempts to blind us and only succeeds on Sophie. Good damage on the cleansing swipes here. For the record, the mops broke frustratingly quickly in older, a new monster skill for Lay, but the mops broke frustratingly quickly in the older patches, so it was actually pretty difficult to make good use of them. So, let's see, frame painting, it depicts a disgusting lump of flesh. You can barely make out Frederick's features in the shape. It's titled Agony, and confirming that that was indeed a fake Frederick. This is Blinding Light. It depicts a Frederic painted with splashes of bright color. Frederic seems to have a bit of a thing for abstract self-portraits. Hi again. I hope you have good news. I can tell that you got more of them since we last spoke. Are you interested in that painting I made? Here. Maybe you could use this. Receive the canvas carry bag. The sleeve should be large enough for the painting, and you can't see a thing through it. You can have it if you want. Just don't look at it. Okay, so this is the thing that you actually need to accomplish within Frederic's apartment. You need to get that canvas bag from him, and killing 3 of the Frederics is one of the ways to get it. You could also just attack him and take it from him, but this is definitely a bit easier to do. Let's see. Painting here. It's too dark to make it anything out. You need the canvas bag to take one of these paintings, and we do need that painting that he made. However, feels dry to the touch. We don't know exactly which painting it is. Now, in this darkened room, it gradually brightens up as you stand in it, but several pieces of the floor have fallen away, so it's very easy to find yourself running into dead ends, like I'm doing right there. And we want to find yet another thing that also hangs out in here. This thing moving around. Don't look at me! Don't look at me! Yeah! This is Shadow Fred, and he is the only Fred who is hostile by default. He has no reward if he is the sole remaining Frederic, and you cannot converse with him normally, so just go to town on this guy with cleansing swipes. He's gonna try and hypnotize us, making Joelle a little drowsy, but nothing too terrible there. Just go at him with the cleansing swipes, 2 cleansing swipes, and he goes down. Again, it's just very... Hey! This is probably one of the better tricks that Sophie learns. Poison. You don't have many options for inflicting the poison status on enemy, and DOT effects can help expedite fights a little bit, especially if you stack them together. That's probably the coolest thing Sophie can do, Ooh, hey, another video game here. Honko's Grand Journey. That's probably the coolest thing Sophie could do, but I really wish she just started battles in the hide status by default. Looks like we've got a locked door over here. Unfortunately, our painter's key does not work for that one, so we're just going to have to leave that one be for the time being. One last thing I want to check out here. This painting on the back wall here, if we feel it, every other painting in the studio is dry, but this one, it's wet. The paint stains your fingers. Interesting. Can't imagine why that one would be wet. Everything in here has been standing for at least a few days. Your hands are stained with blue paint. Wipe them off. Blue paint, eh? Interesting. Over here, we've got more green blobs and more Frederics. We do actually need to kill these green blobs if we want to make progress in the Frederic quest, so we're going to be taking them all out, obviously using Teeth Cannon with Joelle. I'm just going to have Sophie hide here. If we're lucky, okay, there we go with Poison. Poison is pretty annoying. Wow, Sam, your defense is quite terrible. Poison is pretty annoying. It persists for a little while on the field, but eventually goes away, dealing small amounts of damage as you walk around. Biting Armor. This is actually another new skill that was added to Joelle's arsenal in a recent update, this 1.03 update, replacing a skill he had called Teeth Armor. Teeth Armor could be used to increase his defense, but it wasn't super helpful. Biting Armor is a somewhat buffed version of it that not only increases his defense, but also causes him to counterattack whenever he is struck. Pretty cool effect, although I don't often care to set it up, especially since Joelle has another setup ability with his teething ability. Let's use some bandages here before we talk to this thing. Pretty important that I do. Are you a friend? Please stay back. I don't want to hurt you. I'm a friend, I'm a friend. Oh, hey, he actually bit himself. He can randomly bite himself or you. Now, there is actually a protracted conversation you can get into with Fred who bites. I'm not going to show it off right now. I'm going to show off some unique Frederic interactions at a later video, because I got quite a lot I want to pack into this one. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. So we're just going to kill this one right out. He is not the real Frederic. We're going to, let's see here. I'm going to go for a cleansing swipe with Sam here, throw a turpentine at him with Lay, have Joelle prep up the teeth cannon, and Sophie, you can throw a table knife at him. I don't want to fight, but I'm very capable of defending myself. Yeah, well, how can you defend yourself against that? Burning from the acid, with a cleansing swipe, take him out, no problem. This is another Fred that has no reward if you help him out, though he is not inherently hostile, like the Shadow Frederic. Heading into this room over here, well, freaky D over there. We're going to grab this other bottle of turpentine and get a very, very helpful piece of equipment over here. There are some shotgun shells, and, of course, a hunting shotgun. Heck yeah. Ain't a survival horror game until you got the shotgun. Now, let's talk to this feller over here. Look upon our godly form, mortal, and be struck with awe. We are Frederic the Many. We have transcended mortal form. We have a quest for thee. Terrible demons have gathered. There are 9. They must be slain. For the record, this is actually somewhat inaccurate. There are 9 Frederics altogether, but there are only 8 that you actually have to kill. Perform this task, and we shall grant you a boon. We have spoken. Dost thou accept thy quest? I refuse. You refuse? Do you not fear my wrath? You're just a painting. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm stopping the god shtick. Just don't tell anyone, alright? This scam's all I got. I mean, look at me. I'm a goddamn freak. I can't even put clothes on. Anyway, you'll do it. You'll kill him. I'll pay you. I got Fred's stash. There's $400 in it for you. I mean, I don't know if money's still worth much, but I got nothing else. So, what's up? Are you the true Frederic? Nah, you painted me. Kinda weird to paint yourself as an angel god thing, right? Maybe it was ironic. I don't know. Certainly feels that way. So, what's up? I'd like to know what happened here. I remember painting the sky. It's really beautiful. I remember there was a lot of blue. But the painting looked wrong for some reason. So, what's up? So about the god scam. That was good, right? Come on, tell me. For real. Were you scared? I guess a little. Give me a break. Have at thee, knave! Come on, man. That's pretty crazy. Don't act like you're not freaked out. So, what's up? Now, okay, need anything? Time machine would be nice. Oh, wait. I don't think a time machine would fix this, actually. So, I guess nothing. Everything sucks. Well, there's the favor I asked about. Killing all the other Frederics. How's that going, by the way? Okay, so this guy actually has various rewards. If you let him keep up the God Act and you fulfill his request, he will give you an accessory that just gives you a minor pittance in stats. If you have him drop the act here, you can get $400 from him. We're making progress. Okay, good to hear. So, what's up? Anyways, he's not the real Frederic. He outright admitted he's not the real Frederic, so we're just gonna take him out. Once again, go with the cleansing swipe here. Honestly, we don't even need to throw turpentine at him. This guy's something of a paper tiger. Fitting, I suppose. We can just go all in on him. He is able to charm us, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'm not too concerned about that. It's a little annoying, but not a super big deal. Charm causes your allies to turn against you. They also end up losing a turn when they are initially charmed. As you can see, that guy is not tough. Again, paper tiger there. Easy to take out with 2 cleansing swipes. It got a little bit scary with the charm status there. Alright, heading into here, we've got some comic books. We've got a safe over there, but we have no keys. There's a decent chunk of change in there for us if we were able to open it, but we, of course, are not. So let's just continue on. Now we have to head back to the kitchen. If you remember, there was a door on the opposite side. That is also opened up with the painter's key, so we can head into there, and we will find the remainder of the Frederics that we need to slay on the way through there. Also remember the blobs. We do need to kill the blobs. Let's see, a frame painting, it depicts an angelic Frederic bathed in golden light. Over here, of course, we've got, it depicts a sinister Frederic wreathed in shadows. And then over here, depicts Frederic angry in red blotches of color, rage. He didn't seem very angry, but I suppose his rage was of the unwilling kind. Heading over this way, let's use our painter's key up. And let's see here, do I got yeah, let's use this cheese wedge here. We just want to get some healing going here. Give all the chalky bars to Joelle, plus this muffin, and use a few cheese sticks on Sam. There we go. We do want to make sure we're in good condition before we continue forward. Alright, once again, we can just do cleansing swipes on this little fella here. Joelle can just go for a bite. Hey, nice, got a miss. Maybe I should have Sophie go for the hide more often, just to get that evasion bonus there. Paintling is slain, and we can continue on. Sophie is now level 5. No new tricks to be learned at this point. Okay, so heading down this way. Huh. What's that blob? Weird. Moving on. Don't hurt me, please. Did one of them hire you to find me? You're working for them, aren't you? I know they're plotting to kill me. They all want to kill each other. It's only a matter of time before one of them gets to me. I can't trust you. I can't. I'm sorry. I know it's unfair, but if you're here, it must be because one of them sent you, I think. I still can't trust you. I'm sorry. Now, this guy has a very, very complex dialogue quest you can deal with him to get him to come out of that cupboard there. I'm not going to do that in this video, but just note that there are quite a few hoops you have to jump through to get this guy to feel safe around you. For right now, though, let's just get some more flavor text here. What happened here? I painted the sky. At first I thought it was pretty, but something was wrong. Something subtle. Every time I try to remember, I begin shaking. There was something so horrible hiding in plain sight, and its image is right there in the workshop, in the dark. I feel like I might cry. It's paralyzing. Let's see here. Can you remember anything else about it? I remember trying to look at it and getting a headache. My head hurts now just thinking about it. Let's see. I just want to see. There's one other painting out of fear. I was thinking about that cursed painting. I might resemble it in some way. I like to think about that. Let's see, are you the real Frederic? Sorry, I accidentally punched through those dialogue choices there. And let's see, anyone in particular you remember painting? I remember painting one that looked just like the real thing, but without a face. That one scared me the most. It radiated with malevolence. That's the last thing I want to get to him. Now, I actually don't want to use our mops against this guy. We instead want to go for some punching power here. So let's get our cleaver equipped. Let's get Lay set up with a sturdy weapon here. What's the next strongest thing? We can go with our jawbone club. And now we're going to rip this guy out of the cupboard. I wish I could trust you. You seem very nice, but it could be a trick. Attack! Yes, we are going to prove that indeed he cannot trust us. He was wise to not disregard us. Let's see here. Don't want to use power smash there. Obviously, use teeth cannon, and Lay, you can yeah, just use a throwing dart on him, I guess. And if we deal enough damage, we can get this guy to pop out and get him while he's vulnerable. Way to miss there, Lay. Throwing dart. I knew I couldn't trust you. I could see your killing intent. You managed to force the closet open. Ah, go away! So, not many Frederics in there, just one with many eyes. Anyways, we're just going to keep up the assault here. Teeth Cannon, and Sophie, you can throw yet another item at him. Go for a knife here. Jumping attack, not bad. And Teeth Cannon, man, Joelle is just so good in this new update. Like, that's crazy damage. I'm not even setting up teething, and it just is so amazing. Now, we definitely want to get our mops back on, because we're coming up on one of the most dangerous Frederics soon. So, let's get this... Where is the mop? I keep going right past it. I'm very bad at actually settling on the items I want to get. Alright, continuing into here... Let's see, got some rubber gloves. Hey! Well, plastic gloves. That's a nice little accessory right there, I believe. Yeah, gives us protection from acid, poison, and infections. Infection is a status that we haven't seen yet. It doesn't do anything on its own, but it can evolve. What was that? Weird. It can evolve and cause greater problems, namely reducing your attack power. Over here, we've got more paintlings to deal with. Quite a lot more paintlings to deal with. Let's cleansing swipe that one. Cleansing swipe that one over there. Let's teeth cannon this one right here. And Sophie, you can just hide. Hopefully get some evasions going. Okay, we're having pretty bad luck getting the jump on these things. Nice, good cleansing swipe there. Hopefully get the next one with this one. And Teeth Cannon almost never misses, from as far as I can tell. It seems like it always hits. Alright, that is the last of the paintlings that we need to kill. Let's see here. Do we got any more healing items? Definitely light on those. Looks like we're just gonna have to use, no, I shouldn't use bandages on, let's see. Can use the hard candies here. Last gift from Benjamin there. Let's see, take some gum. We, oh, can't use the gum actually. Let's see, juice box, cover stamina. I'm actually gonna use that on Sam real quick. And just use a bandage to top him off a little bit. There we go. Hey, what's that blob thing? Got a cowboy hat here, but I don't like the looks of it. I'm gonna ignore it for right now, and what was that sound? Weird. Okay, let's see. Hey, got a nice windbreaker jacket here. You feel movement in your bags. Probably nothing. That is actually a pretty solid piece of armor there. Giving us even more agility also, making jump attack better. And that allows us to pass down our hoodie to, let's see, who has oh, Joelle doesn't have any armor, so he could definitely use this. Granted, his natural defense is quite good, but still, I don't want to leave him high and dry like that. Over here, we got a rolled up wad of cash sits on the table, and get $80. Alright, fella, what are you? Ah! Was the hat this obvious? You walked right up to it and just walked away, like that. Did you see it move? What? What gave it away? What hat? Bullshit. You walked right up to it. Don't lie to me. I was there. I was the hat, you idiot. Ah! Nothing is going my way. What am I going to do now? This is my shot, forcing some idiot to kill the others for me. I'm just stuck with voices in my head now? Forever? No. No way. I can still do this. I just need to try again on the next idiot. Instead of your hat, your corpse will be the bait. And here we've got Toxic Fred. This guy obviously is not the real Frederic. I'm actually not going to go too hard on this guy on the opening turn, because this fight goes in a bit of an interesting way. Let me see here. Is that a single target? I wish I had some multi-targeting things here. Homemade incendiary grenade. Yeah, that's all this stuff is single targeting. I'm actually going to have Joelle teeth, and I'm going to have Sophie hide. And let's see, yeah, it starts throwing green goop all over. Joelle was poisoned, which is unfortunate. Luckily, Sophie did not get knocked out of the hide status there. I don't need to fight you alone. Now, originally, you could actually kill Toxic Fred before he does this. Split into multiple Frederics. Much better. This was changed in a recent patch. If you go all out on him on the first turn, he will not die, so it's not worth your time to go all out right at the start. I'm going to have Sophie just throw a fork at one of these things. Doesn't really matter which one it goes at. As you can see, this guy is quite fast. All of the green paintlings really are pretty fast, which makes them a little frustrating to deal with, but not too bad. That left one is down. Joelle's teething teeth cannon should deal some pretty good damage there. Yeah, that did not redirect into what I would have liked it to. Alright, let's take out the Fred on the right. Joelle's getting a little weak here. Actually, why don't we have him gum up the works, since we're just showing off all his different moves. Okay. Ooh, Sam is poisoned. He's also getting pretty low on health, and he doesn't really have a good way to recover. Oh, wow. That Fred was quite weak. Sophie is level 6. Learn the trick Stun. Pretty helpful, pretty helpful. Speaking of status ailments, let's use some of these antidotes we have to just clear this poison so I don't have to worry about that damage coming through. Ugh, we are so low on healing supplies, but we're hanging in there, we're hanging in there. Don't have too much else to worry about at this point. Continuing on, back through, where'd the hat go? Why is there a tingle on my shoulder? That's probably nothing. Heading over this way. Whoa, that thing moved fast. This is all I got left. All I got left! You killed everything else. I'm just a goddamn hat! This encounter will only happen if you killed all the other green paintlings at this point. All those were just pieces of Toxic Fred. Now he is nothing more than a hat. Oh crap, Lei is actually out of stamina. That's a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Let's see, I actually don't want to screw around with this guy. Throw some turpentine on him. As you can see, he does a multi-targeting attack that does big damage to everyone. Pretty rough to deal with. Okay, there we go. Get the cleansing swipe, and then throw the turpentine, and this should take him out. There we go, not bad, not bad. Not a cowboy hat, indeed. Thankfully, that is the last thing we have to deal with that poisons us, and we get a stained key for our efforts. Got some medication here, so we'll cure up Lei, and we will use this tonic on Joelle here. Hopefully I have enough HP left to deal with the remainder of the stuff in this apartment. Heading over this way. Hey, Frederic, you got anything for me? I'm dealing pretty rough here. Hi again. Hope you have good news. I can tell you got more of them since we last spoke. I gathered some medical supplies as thanks for the work you've been doing for me. Here. Oh wow, 6 bandages, 2 tonics, and a first aid kit. Heck yeah. That's we were in desperate need of those. Let's use a tonic on Sam there, and use a few bandages on Sophie, 1 bandage on Joelle, and that's definitely enough to cover us for the remainder of what we need to do here. Now, I'm actually going to mix up my equipment a little bit here. I'm going to unequip the mop, equip the old rifle onto Sam, and I'm going to equip the shotgun that we got onto Lei here. Also make sure our rifle is fully loaded before we get into any encounters. Looking good there, looking good. And let's see, do I have any, yes, I do have a few stamina restoratives, so let's, yeah, get tanked, Lei. There we go. Let's take a look at some of the other paintings we've filled in here. Frame painting, it depicts Frederic in caustic green colors. There's treachery. Let's see, and over here, frame painting, depicts Frederic terrified in hues of blue. It's titled Fear. Now, the Fred that was afraid, he did mention a faceless painting. We haven't seen anything that's faceless yet. He said it seemed evil, though. So let's take a look around here and see if we can't find anything that is faceless. This door won't open, but our stain key pops it right open. And say now, you're looking pretty faceless there, friend. Let's talk to this guy and try and gauge his intent. What are you? The faceless thing pantomimes a painting on an invisible easel. It's either an artist or a mime, or both. Are you the real Frederic? The faceless thing gives 4 thumbs up. That's an affirmative. Convenient. Where's your face? The faceless thing puts 1 set of hands around its hollowed face and another mimics painting. You're not entirely sure what it means. A painter has his face? What happened to you? It slouches then pretends to paint. Another hand yanks at the space where its face should be. Clearly something or someone has stolen this man's face. You know, he seems to mean well. And, you know, I just, from the start, I can't get what the Tumor Fred hinted at, that Frederic is not human, and that although he's still alive, he wasn't nearby. Or rather, he wasn't near the living room. I just want to try something real quick. So, oh crap, let's get into the conversation real quick. I don't want to deal with that thing. That is a high danger enemy, and it is a boss. This is one of the few rooms where you can encounter these things. Real quick though, actually, let's run like hell so that the darkness effect isn't applying to the room. Okay. Okay, it's gone, it's gone. I just didn't want that messing up the fight. That darkness effect was taking precedence. What I'm gonna do here, attack this Frederic. I'm not gonna hurt him. What are you doing? Stop it. Stop it right now. I'm the real Frederic. Did they trick you? Now, If this is the real deal, I think we can just splash some turpentine on his smock there, and he should be fine, right? That wouldn't hurt him. We'll have everybody else guard. We'll have Joel set up his gums. And Sophie obviously wants to hide. What did they tell you? You're being fooled. Don't be an idiot. Have you seen them? Alright, Frederic attacks. I'm not too concerned about that. Just hit his smock with that. And Joel has his HP recovery going. Ugh, look what you're doing to me. I'm starting to... Ugh. Okay, I think we've hit pay dirt. This guy is a damn dirty liar. Alright, let's start peppering him with attacks. We'll have Lei show off the shotgun here. The shotgun is the only gun that has a true AoE attack with its wide blast that... hit all targets in a battle. It can also fire point-blank shots that deal powerful damage, but the enemy must be close for it to hit, or you can fire multi-blasts, which fire 3 shots at random enemies. You don't get much shotgun ammo, though, so I wouldn't recommend using that. Alright, with that done... Oh, Joel's out of stamina, so he just has... Actually, oh, he can't teeth while he has his gums worked up. Okay, Sophie, what I want you to do is I want you to poison Frederic here. Get that little bit of damage going for the entire battle. And with a point-blank shotgun blast, very nice. Frederic is poisoned now. Ah, you little shit! Look what you did! Okay, yeah, this guy, he is not the real deal at all. Let's go. We'll do another point-blank shot on him. Joel, just keep up the assault. Sophie, what you can do is you can start inflicting this guy with bleeding. The nice thing about giving Sophie a knife is that she can inflict bleeding no problem. Looks like he picked up a little bit of, what is it, missile resistance there. And now he's just transforming. We're gonna have to poison him again to keep that DOT going, so let's once again just keep going with the attacks here. Another point blank shot, another attack from Joel here. Get the poison reapplied to him. Let's see what other mutations we can force out of this faux Frederic. Yeah, you get it? He's like faux as in fake, but also faux as in an enemy. Yeah, okay. This is looking beautiful. Loving what I'm seeing here, Frederic. Also, you're gonna keep getting hurt. Let's see here. Sophie is kind of just out of, what is it? Stamina at this point. So we're just gonna keep up the offense here with our regular attacks and have her shoot marbles. Attack with the butts of the weapon. Okay, it looks like we need to deal a little bit more damage than that, so we'll go with another point-blank shot. Joel, keep biting. Sophie, do we have any in-battle healing items we can use here? Use that tonic on Joel real quick. Just want to make sure Joel stays top off. He doesn't have the stamina to gum up the works anymore. Okay. That's it. I've had enough! This palette can be so constraining. I think it's time to experiment with another. The Face Taker has revealed himself. We're going to take an aim shot, we're going to go for another point-blank shot, and we are going to throw a turpentine at him. Actually, we're just going to throw all our turpentines at him. The Face Taker is when this fight actually becomes potentially dangerous. As you can see, he hits quite hard, but if we hit him with the turpentine, get the acid status going on him, our gun attacks will deal huge damage, take him out, no problem. Get out of here, Face Taker. A paint-stained apron was found, as well as a beret. And a torn-off face. Feel movements in my bags. That's probably nothing. Alright, let's see here. The beret is a hat we can give to somebody else. We'll give it to Lei. I think she'd look fancy in a beret. Gives her a little bit of luck. And let's see, is the paint-stained apron an accessory? Yes, it is. Let's see. Increased defense and protects from acid and increases max HP. I'm actually going to give that to Sam for right now, just because he has pretty low defense and having more defensive options would help out quite a bit. With this face acquired, we can now turn it over to the other Frederic, and as you can see, since this painting was filled in, it picks a terrifying creature without a face. It is titled Faceless. Indeed, the default Frederic we came across, he was a no-good faker. So, let's take this face and let's give it back to the Faceless, the kind Faceless Frederic. And heading over this way, over and around, back into the stained room. And let's award Frederic with his face. Hand over Frederic's face? Absolutely. Oh, thank God. It's back on. Oh, that feels better. Thanks for that. So, you must have killed it then. The thing that took my face? Along with all the others, I take it. Good. I need to be careful of what I paint from now on. Look, I owe you. Not just for the face either. Let me paint a duplicate of any piece of gear you want. Not guns or weapons. Only clothes. Other gear. I can only do this once, so think about it for a while, okay? But I owe you. I want to do this for you. So, what can I do for you? So, just to go over some of the rewards I didn't mention, Scared Fred also has no reward that he gives you. The Toxic Fred, if you put on his hat and agree to kill the other Frederics for him, he upgrades the hat to make you immune to poison, but the hat is permanently stuck on Sam if you equip it, so not a very good reward. And if you kill all of the Frederics for the Face Taker, he gives you a unique weapon, a unique item for your range slot called the Painter's Palette, and it gives your melee attacks a random chance to inflict any ailment in the game. Pretty cool, and you do get a Steam achievement for helping him out, so it's at least worth checking out once. So, what happened to you? It was a calm, beautiful night. The kind of night that needed to be immortalized in painting. There was something in the sky. I couldn't identify it, but I captured it anyway. It changed me. Whatever I painted, whatever it was, I will never be the same. Almost everything I paint now seems to come to life. So I painted myself. I painted the changes I underwent. As you can see, the paintings came to life, stole my face, and locked me here. So, what can I do for you? About the cursed painting, be careful with it. It should be in the back, against the far north wall of the leftmost studio room. So what can I do for you? If you didn't puzzle it out with getting the blue paint on your fingers and examining the easel to realize the connection, plus there's what the Fred that bites said, yes, that wet painting is the one that we want to grab. Now, he can duplicate any armor in the game for you, but it is a one-time deal, so you obviously want to wait for until you have a really good armor that you'd like to duplicate. I wish I could prove it to you, but I don't know how. So what can I do for you? Now, Real Frederic's quest reward was originally bugged. In version 1.02 and prior, I don't know, why do I feel so itchy? If you turned in the... Or if you turned in his face without killing all the other Frederics first, he would never update his dialogue tree to give you the reward. So let's take this painting right here, and there we go. We've got the correct painting. I was tempted to field again, but I didn't feel like getting paint on my fingers once more. So, now that we've taken care of that quest, we actually still got quite a few more things I want to do in this video. I said it was going to be a long one, and you probably noticed that when you clicked on the video. So, first order of business is I actually want to go back to the apartment real quick, so I'm just going to cut that out. Making my way to the apartment, something weird here. The last apartment that was closed to us, apartment 30, has opened up, and some kind of taxidermized sculpture has taken place in front of it. Very strange. I just wanted to take an opportunity to update my save here for what I'm about to do. I'll also check to see if Sybil has anything else to say. Also, look at all these level ups. Beautiful. Have strange people been knocking on your door at all times of the night? Scary people. I've got a few, but no scary people. 3 or 4 people have knocked on my door since this all started. A mother looking for a child? A man with far, far too many teeth. Who are these people? Where did they come from? They can't be residents, can they? So what's new? Anything interesting since we last spoke? Just be careful who you answer the door for. Take care, Sam. Taking an opportunity also to cook another meal here, some beef with veggies. Let's share the food with 3 people to get some health and stamina back. Hey, Thothi, what book did you end up reading for the book report? I didn't even bother with the reading. What? It's due on Monday. I'm not sure we're gonna have school on Monday, Joel. Oh? Why? Poor Joel, he really doesn't seem to understand. Now, we're actually going to take care of something before we get back to the Wallmouth. I think we're ready to take on the Rat King. I still got my guns equipped. I better load up the shotgun to make sure we aren't spent on ammunition for it before we get into a battle. Here we go. We're going to take on the Rat King. Now, he starts off far away, and he also takes quite a bit of time to approach, so this is a matter of killing him before he can do anything nasty to us. We need to use the multi-blast here, because he's too far away for the point-blank blast to work, and we are going to hurl acid blast at this guy. Just go for it, Sophie and Joelle. Throw these flasks, don't stop. Get that huge damage going. And yeah, beautiful. Now our, gun should deal some pretty awesome damage there. Get some panic on the Sophie. Okay, the script... No, there's 3 shots. The default text is just kind of wrong for it. Okay, let's not jump attack. Let's go for another aim shot here. Let's go for some more multi-blasts. Let's have Joelle use a teeth cannon, and then Sophie can throw one more acid flask at him. I think we got him. He's taken so much damage already. Nice! The one nice thing about multi-hit skills is that multiple hits within them can crit. There we go! Rat King has been defeated. And we get a rusty crown and a giant rat skull, one of the items that we could have traded with the rat tail trader. Alright, let's take a look at that rat crown. There's a very particular reason why I wanted to get this. As you can see, the rat skull itself is also not too shabby as an accessory. This doesn't give as good defense, but it increases our offensive abilities quite a bit, as well as giving us some bullet defense. But if you equip it, the crown feels deathly cold. You hear the squeaking of rats in your head. What that exactly does for us isn't perfectly clear at the moment. Let's see. I'm actually going to switch the beret off of Lei and give her the giant rat skull. Huge upgrade for her. We can pass down the beret to Joelle, and we'll give the baseball cap to Sophie, because why not? Alright, everybody's looking pretty good there. Now we can return to the Wallmouth and see if there isn't something we can do besides feeding the rat baby to it. There's a mouth in the wall. It's salivating as though it expects to be fed. Feed me, child! No! Now, of course, if we refuse to feed him the rat baby, we're just trapped in an endless loop here. Now, there's a mouth in the wall. It's salivating as though it expects to be fed. Feed me, child. You cradle the rat baby in your arms. Turn your head, unable to look at the creature. Grabs your nose with a disgusting little rat hand as its greasy tail curls around your arm. It's no good! I can't do it! There's a mouth in the wall, salivating as though it expects to be fed. Feed me, child! No. No, we won't feed you the child. Nope, this is, no, you can't do it. Hold on, something's not right here. I forget the exact sequence of events you have to do. There's a mouth in the wall, it's salivating as though it expects to be fed. Feed me a child. Come on, what was the... leave. Let's see. Let me figure this out. Why not feed me? I'm not sure why it wouldn't let me do that, but, okay, we're given several choices. Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact sequence I needed to get it to do this, but if we refuse it, at some point, we can make alternative suggestions. We could just say we can't. We could offer all of our food, which both of these get nothing. But if we choose to let it eat our arm... Yes, feed me your arm. Which arm will you feed it? You will permanently lose some of your abilities by doing this. You will also be unable to use two-handed weapons entirely. If you feed it your right arm, you will not be able to use melee weapons. If you feed it your left arm, you will not be able to use ranged weapons. This is a permanent decision. Or at least it would be. As of the most current versions of this game, this choice is quite buggy, and all too often the game kind of unintentionally restores the function of both of your arms, and sometimes it even just outright restores your sprite. But, for the sake of honor, I will be abiding by whatever sacrifice I make here. And for the sake of intrigue, since a lot of Sam's video game abilities revolve around using melee weapons, I'm going to sacrifice my left arm. You cautiously slide your left hand into that hole. Inside the hole is warm and wet. A thick, slimy mucus covers every surface. The hole contracts as your arm wriggles deeper inside. You're now up to your elbow. You reach even deeper inside, up to your shoulder. The hole, the creature's throat, tightly clamps around your limb. The monster's blunt teeth chomp down on your arm, crushing your bones and tearing into your flesh. You convulse in absolute agony, howling as the creature shreds your arm, until everything finally fades to black. You wake up. When you wake up, you find the rat thing curled up beside you. It seems like it's grown very attached to you. The mouth widens for a moment before dry heaving. After several attempts, it finally reaches out a round, shiny disc. It clangs to the ground. He is satisfied, and now we have the Earth Disc. There is still yet more for us to do in this video. Don't worry, though. We're getting close to the end. Sometimes you also get the bleed status from doing that, unsurprisingly. Regardless, we took quite a bit of damage feeding our arm there, so a quick band-aid would probably help out quite a bit. Now, with the Earth Disc in tow, you may remember that there was one room with a circular indentation, specifically by these broken walls here, and as it so happens, we can insert our Earth Disc to pop the lock. Heading into here, there's a couple things we want to check out. There's one door off to the right here. Heading into here, and going all the way to the end, we find an odd necklace. If you equip this odd necklace, you'll see that it's a jewelry item that has no direct stat effects. From what I understand, this gives a hidden bonus to your critical hit rate, but it also increases the damage you take by about 30%. Not a worthwhile trade, in my opinion. Oh. Apparently they're none too fond of me taking that necklace. It is, however, a pretty valuable item to sell, so I think it's worth taking on that basis. Sorry, massive hiccup there. Over here, we've got the Rat Freak. It bows its heads in respect. It presents an offering. We receive the Rat Claws. If you do not have the Rat Crown, this guy is hostile and will be a boss fight. We will fight him eventually, but I wanted to get the unique weapon he gives you. Let's unequip our shotgun here, and let's take a look at these Rat Claws. Gnarled Rat Claws you can use as weapon. Attacks twice and may cause bleeding. Decent attack power, though not as good as the single attack weapons, but the double attacks obviously makes this a fair trade-off. It also has quite a few good skills attached to it, so definitely worth putting on to lay. With that, past the Rat Freak is the Mars Disc. We're going to want to take that to well, not obviously, but you may remember there were two circular indentations on the ground floor. We need to use the Earth Disc and Mars Disc in tandem to pop the locks for the ground floor. I'm going to return to the apartment real quick, though, just to make another save. Now, returning to the apartment, we get our experience and our save opportunity. The little rat thing hops out of your bags and scampers off into your home. Maybe you should give it a name. Yeah, let's go with a name. Let's see, we could just call him Rat, but that seems kind of lazy. How about... I don't know, let's go with, We'll give him the name Fievel. Before you comment, yes, I know Fievel is a mouse. Shut up. But yes, we've got Fievel living in our apartment now. If we interact with him, it smells awful and looks skittish. Let's first care for him. Let's clean him off. Bring Fievel to the sink and give it a wash. Leia holds Fievel's little claws, running a thumb cautiously along its sharp edge. Well, look at these little things. Quite sharp, eh? She holds the rat claws to her waist and grins wickedly as she scrapes them across her skin. Droplets of blood trickle out. Good, good. Now drink. She places Fievel's little head next to her bleeding wrists. Cautiously, it sniffs the blood before gingerly licking with its little tongue. Drink up, little rat. We want you nice and strong. Who knew that Leia had some motherly instincts? Yes, when you interact with the rat baby, it'll have various conditions in effect. You tell Fievel a story. It doesn't appear to understand anything you say, but it seems to at least like the sound of your voice. Hey there, little rat thing. What you up to? The rat baby curiously paws at Sophie's leg as it wants to be picked up. She carefully hoists up the rat, cradling it in her arms. Whoa, you're heavy. You're growing pretty fast, huh? The rat baby yawns and rests its head on Sophie's shoulder. Looks like it's sleepy. Aw, you're pretty sleepy, huh? I guess I need to be quiet for a while. Alright, and with that, Fievel is still a little skittish, so let's play with him. You play peekaboo, but Fievel cries when you cover your face. Peekaboo might be too much right now. Seems like you need to start very small. Fievel, come here. The little rat skitters across the hardwood floor from across the room, nearly sliding into Leia as it careens to a halt. It looks up at Leia for approval before biting into her arm. Rivulets of blood seep out, and the baby rat laps it up hungrily. Good rat, get your fill. Okay, and yeah, Fievel is still a little skittish. Let's see, any other care we can give him? We can soothe him. Sophie runs around the house, the little rat baby skittering closely behind her. After a few moments, it finally manages to catch up, leaping onto the back of her leg. Hey, you got me! You're pretty fast! Now it's my turn! As Sophie counts from 10, the rat baby runs around the room, trying to get away from her as far away from her as possible. Here I come, Fievel! Sophie chases the little rat around the house, running circles around the couch as she tries to catch it. It chirps excitedly as they play. And yeah, Fievel is doing fine. Now I'll make that save I was talking about and see what other dialogue Sybil has for us. Oh my god! You lost your arm? Are you okay? I don't understand. What do you mean you saved the rat? This thing? You mean you fed your arm to the wall on purpose? Have you lost your mind? Well, that wasn't too bad. Thank you for generic text. Anyway, let's get to the ground floor now. On the way back, I ran into the Shadowy thing again. It's this thing again. You wonder if it's been following you. Hi again, friend. The creature seems excited. Getting a little close for comfort there, buddy. For some reason, you feel especially vulnerable as it stares at you. Are those teeth beneath the mask? Its steady gaze is fixed on you. Are you shy? He seems a little bashful. Steady gaze is fixed upon you. Do you need help? Alright, so it looks like he's independent right now. Are you lost at all? Steady gaze is fixed on you. We don't really have anything else to say to him, so we'll leave him be. But you do want to interact with him there. Now, I was mentioning how the side quest has variable rewards. If you just do the bare minimum to be friendly to him, eventually you'll get $350 from him, which is a pretty good reward, but it also results in a premature end to the interactions with him. So I want to actually do everything properly to get the full resolution of the quest. Anyway, with the Earth disk and the Mars disk placed in these circular indentations, the ground floor has opened up to us. Now, we've got a few different rooms here. This one goes to a convenience store. This is a janitor's closet over here. We've got a vending machine that gives us coffee, a very potent stamina restorative. There's the laundry room down there, and actually I'm gonna have to show off something before well, that'll have to wait for the next video. Here we get a herbicide, so now we can clear out some of these fleshy growths, which I don't want to do. Over here is the landlord's apartment, Mr. Henderson's abode. We'll have to come back to that later because it's also locked. Now, we could go into the bathroom here, but I don't have anything I want to do. There's actually something I want to check out deeper into the ground floor. So, let's head into the lobby. Say, does anybody else hear the sound of Raymond Scott in the distance?
Get onto the bus that's gonna take you back to Beelzebub. Get onto the bus. I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.